Well, Dash, I've turned it around. 2 weeks above 500, and I caught you in total wins.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to our Week 11 Pick Show. I'm your host, Jim Stella, in studio with J Dash, JK47, and Big Easy. We got 5 games against the spread for you. I have finally caught back up to Dash in total wins, so all I need to do is beat him this week, and then I can start talking smack on him again next week. Although Johnny Parlay is still leading it overall, I think.
Yes, we're not going to talk about the losses, I'm guessing.
What losses?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Last week, though, Johnny Parlay went 4-1, Jim 3-2, the rest of us just 1-4. On the season, Johnny Parlay is now 30-19-1. I'm 26-23-1, and the rest of you are under 500 at this point. JK47, you can easily get over 500 this week, though. All time, yeah, Johnny Parlay, 64-57-4.
Brutal.
Not too bad, man, not too bad.
It's brutal for
I'm
me.
60-54-2, and 47, you're sitting at 500 at 26-26-1. Easy, you and Jim are under 500 at this point.
I got mad picks.
But look, Johnny Parlay, man, 18-7 in his last 25 picks, 12-3 in his last 3 weeks. He's killing it right now, so keep listening to him.
Doesn't take any of his own advice.
Let's get this started, though.
What game we got first?
We're going to go with Johnny Parlay's game since he is killing it. He's 6-4 in picks of the week this season, 14-13-1 all time. He's going with Indianapolis at Atlanta. Atlanta's -6, and he is saying Atlanta in this game.
Atlanta screws me every time I take them, whether it's fantasy, whether it's Survivor League, whether I'm putting some ZD on this. It doesn't matter what it is. Atlanta screws me. They could be averaging 55 points a year. I freaking pick them, and they score 10. It's just not fair. So I'm going to make it quick and easy for everybody and let you know I'm taking Indianapolis, and I'm pretty sure it's a spread solo.
Spread solo on that.
Do I think Indy's going to win outright? Probably not, because they got Matt Hasselbeck at the helm. Obviously, Andrew Luck's out for a couple weeks. But -6, I just don't think Atlanta's going to cover it. They've struggled covering some big lines lately. They struggled covering, I freaking had them at 1 the other day or something against San Francisco, and they lose the game outright. Just complete garbage. Screw you, Atlanta. No research in this pick. It's all emotion. I hate Atlanta.
Yeah, you remember they started out 5-0, but since then they are actually 1-3.
Garbage.
And they lost their past 2 games to the Buccaneers, and then they went to San Francisco and lost to Blaine Gabbert. So they haven't been playing nearly as well as they had earlier in the season. But the Indianapolis Colts, you just lose Andrew Luck. I know Matt Hasselbeck didn't play too bad earlier in the season, but they're just 1-3 in their last 4 games as well. And they're coming off a huge victory against the Denver Broncos. They barely squeaked that out by 3 points. Now they're going back on the road. In Atlanta, like I said, and you said, they haven't been playing as well recently. I think they're going to get it going this week. And Indianapolis, they're going to have a letdown after that big emotional win.
Yeah, it's the way I'm feeling too. Let down and getting it back on track for Atlanta at home.
See, I kind of feel, too, that if Hasselbeck's going to have a good game, it's probably going to be his first 1 or 2 where he's had a little bit of time to rest since the last time he's played. So if Indy has any chance at doing anything with him at the helm, I feel like it's going to be in this game or maybe the next game. And with the big line, that's another reason why I'm thinking Indy. 6 points is a lot to cover for Atlanta. They can barely score 6 points.
Yeah. Well, look, Indianapolis over the past 4 games, they let up 34, 27, 29, and 24. So their defense isn't that great. So I think Atlanta can get it going on offense again this week. And if you look, Atlanta's defense, I know we never talk about Atlanta's defense, and they're not great by any means or anything. But if you look over the past 3 weeks, they haven't been playing too bad. They've let up just 46 points over the past 3 weeks, which is a little over 15 points a week. So that's not too bad. That offense just got to get it going, and I think they can against a poor defense in Indy.
Well, Dan Quinn's the head coach down there, and he was the coordinator out in Seattle last year, their defensive coordinator, so he knows what he's doing. Loves that defense.
47. You're saying Atlanta too, correct?
I like Atlanta in this week. I think they're going to be coming fresh off the bye. You're going to see this offense get it kicked into high gear. Look for Jones and Freeman to carry the load on offense.
You guys realize Atlanta is only 1-5 against the spread this year as a favorite.
That's fine.
Word.
Yep, straight to that. That means they're due.
They're due. And Indy is actually 4-1 against the spread as an underdog this year.
Well, look, Atlanta has scored 3.2 more points per game than Indy. They've allowed 4.1 points less per game than Indy, and they have a better turnover differential than Indy. Atlanta is the better team, but like you said, they haven't been playing well recently, and they really got to get it going this week. And that is kind of a big line considering how they were playing, but I think they do get it going in Indy. With the loss of Luck for a second time this season, I don't think Matt Hasselbeck's going to find as much success as he did the first time around.
Real quick before we move on, is Indy as bad as a team as it looks, or is it really just because Luck was so beat up throughout the year and nobody really knew the extent of his injuries?
Well, that had something to do with it, but their offensive line isn't that good. Andre Johnson didn't step up like he was supposed to. T.Y. Hilton hasn't been the same type of player he was last season. Frank Gore isn't that great of a running back. He's old now. Their defense isn't great, so they're just not a good team.
Yeah,
Andrew Luck can't do everything.
Frank Gore's been okay, right?
Yeah, he's been okay. He hasn't been terrible or
I
anything.
think he's
but
still on pace for 1,000.
possibly, yeah. I could see maybe close to 1,000 yards out of him this season, but it's not like that's a guy that when all else is lost, you can feature and try to win a game with him like Le'Veon Bell or Matt Forte.
Well, they don't even have one of those guys.
No, they don't have one of those
even
guys. They brought
passing
in a
game,
Matt
T.Y.
Bradshaw.
Hilton, that's about it.
Yeah, T.Y.
Dante Moncrief.
I think since Joseph Adai's, that's the last time I think they actually had a 1,000-yard rusher, was Joseph Adai's rookie season.
Possibly, yeah. All right, let's move on here. JK47, we're going to go with your pick. You're 5-5 this season in picks of the week and 5-5 all time. Obviously, you're going with the Oakland game. Oakland is -2 on the road at Detroit. The over-under 48.5.
I like Detroit in this game. They're coming off of a big win against Green Bay. Actually, I actually went through Green Bay that week, probably as most of us did. But aside from that, I think Stafford's going to have a big game against this bad Oakland defense. Look for Calvin Johnson to be great. Eric Ebron's going to be good.
Yeah, he is actually my sleeper this week. Or one of them.
Although, I do think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I'm just going to give Matt Stafford at home the edge over Derek Carr on the road.
Well, look, Oakland was 4-3 when they went into Pittsburgh, we remember, and they were playing some good football, and actually they were stopping the run very well, and that's why they were winning some games. They weren't good against the pass, but over the past 2 weeks, they played the Steelers and the Vikings. D'Angelo Williams had 170-some yards rushing on him. Adrian Peterson had over 200 yards rushing on him. Detroit is a team that cannot run the ball at all, and I think Oakland can get back on track against the run this week. And I look at Detroit's defense. Yeah, they went in and beat the Packers, only let up 16 points to them. But we know the Packers have been struggling recently. And when I look at the past 4 home games for Detroit, look at this. They let up 42 to the Cardinals, 34 to the Bears, 28 to the Vikings, and 45 to the Chiefs. So they haven't been playing good defense at all outside of this Packer game. And sort of like that first game we were talking about, I think coming off of an emotional win, they're going to go back home. In the Raiders, like I said, the reason they've been getting beat over the past 2 weeks is because they can't stop the run. They'll be able to stop the run this week, and I think they do go on and beat Detroit by more than 2 points.
When I originally looked at the game, I kind of thought to myself, Oakland, -2. That's a pretty good line. They're putting up points. Derek Carr's playing well. But then I remembered I suck at this, so I decided to go with Detroit instead. Detroit's at home. I looked up some stats. There's really not even a stat I could give you that makes me want to say Detroit. They're terrible as underdogs. They're terrible against the spread in pretty much any way you can be. And Oakland is pretty much above 500 against the spread any way you can be. But I don't know. I'm feeling Detroit. I think it's a little bit of the opposite. You're saying they're coming off a big emotional win. Now they're going to have a letdown. I think they're going to build off of that. They're going home, so it's a little bit easier to try to play a good game. They're going to have a good game here. I think they beat Oakland, actually, not even just cover this spread. And I think the weeks after is when they really start to tail off again. So I think they get one more boost from the emotion this week before it starts to fizzle out a little bit.
Well, look, they should be able to get the passing game going in this matchup because, first of all, Oakland isn't good at stopping the pass, and Matt Stafford's been playing some good football recently, and Charles Woodson is injured. Now, he said he may come back for the 2016 season. We'll have to see if that happens or not. But Detroit, I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball. But like I said in our situational starters, sleepers, and deep sleepers segment, I had Matt Stafford, Eric Ebron, and Lance Moore all as choices. So I really think Detroit can get that passing game going.
Points. You're spread solo on this, huh,
I am
Dash?
going spread solo with Oakland.
Johnny Parlay, loving him some Detroit.
Easy. Anything you want to say about Detroit?
Not really.
Garbage.
I mean, you asked me who to pick. I picked Detroit. Oakland, they got a little bit high. Now they're a little bit low.
Really, the difference
I
to
don't
me...
know. On the road, too. Oakland on the road, garbage.
Yeah, the difference to me really is the offenses. Oakland scores nearly 7 more points per game than Detroit does. So Oakland's been a much better offense this season. We'll have to see if Detroit can follow up what they did last week versus Green Bay and shut down a pretty good offense. Let's move on to my pick of the week here. I'm 4-6 this season in picks of the week.
Garbage.
But I am, yeah, it is garbage. But I am 13-8-1 still all time because I had such a good season last year. I got to pick it back up though, and I think this is going to get me a win this week. Washington at Carolina. Carolina's -7, and the over/under is 45.5 in this game. And I'm going to go with Carolina because we've seen what Washington did last week. They went out and blew out the Saints, correct?
At home, though.
Yes, that was a home game. They won 47-14. And 3 weeks ago, they went out and put up 31 points on the Buccaneers, though it was 31-30, so it was still a close game. But they went on the road to New England, a game that Kirk Cousins was supposed to have a good game because New England's pass defense isn't that great, and they went out and put up 10 points. And like we said, Kirk Cousins was Easy's deep sleeper last week. We knew he was going to go out and have a big game, and that's what he did. He went out and blew out a Saints team who has probably
Zero
the worst
defense.
pass defense
Rob Ryan
in
got
the game.
fired after that game, so that was pretty
now
funny.
they're going on the road, and Carolina gets, I know it's -7, but it's still a favorable line just because Washington went out and blew out New Orleans last week. I think now they're going on the road, and he's going to face a better defense than New England. Like I said, they put up 10 points on New England. I could see something 10 points or less in this game as well, and Carolina winning this one pretty easy.
Yeah, Carolina's D's just going to shut him down. He's going to have
I think so,
2
too.
or 3 interceptions.
Not to forget, the one vulnerability that Carolina has is they're not great against the run. They're okay against the run. They're not great, but Alfred Morris is injured right now, and all they have is Matt Jones in the backfield right now, so they don't have much going in the run game for Washington either, so it's going to be tough.
I think this could be a potential letdown game for Carolina. Although I still think they win this football game, I don't think they cover the -7 line, so I'm going to pick Washington. I know the Redskins haven't really been playing nearly as well on the road. Again, when I looked at this, I thought Carolina's so much better, they should cover this real easy. I better hurry up and take Washington because everything I think is wrong. So we're going to go with the Redskins. We're going to see what Kirk Cousins can do. Carolina, they're a mystifying 8-0 team or 9-0 team, whatever they are. They have almost no passing game outside of Greg Olsen and a little bit to Ted Ginn. And Cam Newton is just, I mean, this guy is the closest thing to Superman that the NFL really has. He's hold this offense together by himself every year that he's there, basically. He had Steve Smith for a little bit. Everybody always talks about D'Angelo
Yeah, Kelvin Benjamin
and
last
James
year, too.
Stewart, yeah. But the running backs always seem to get hurt no matter who they are. They never can consistently keep that running game going. Cam Newton is the reason why it always looks like the Panthers run the ball so well because he runs the ball so well. But I think this is a little bit of a letdown. I think they're getting a little too excited about being undefeated, and I think they only win this game by a field goal, maybe 4 points.
I think they'll take it.
I think Carolina's going to take this game. I'm looking along. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think you're going to see a score along the lines of maybe like 24-14 Carolina. I think you can look at something like that. I think Cam Newton's going to lead the way, as Jim just said a couple seconds ago.
John Stewart's been doing fine.
Yeah, he's been playing all right as well. Johnny Parlay's going to Washington, though, and he has not been wrong much recently.
Carolina is 5-2 against the spread as a favorite this year. And Washington is 4-4 against the spread as an underdog. So the favorable matchup there is Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina, better offense, better defense, pretty much better everything. Most importantly, better quarterback.
According to 47, that's all you need.
Please believe. So 47, me and Easy, we're going Carolina. Johnny Parlay and Jim going Washington.
Believe it.
All right, Easy's pick of the week. He's 4-6 this season in picks of the week, 9-12-1 all time. I like this game he's going with, though. Green Bay at Minnesota. Minnesota is -1 in this game. 45 is the over and under.
crack one.
That one's for Terry, coming off of that concussion. Last week in Oakland, beating a team that we thought had a decent offense. Obviously, Terry don't stop the offense of Oakland, but a whole team effort and Peterson just running wild, brother. It was crazy. And I don't see, you talk about momentum, Minnesota's got the momentum. And Aaron Rodgers, his B-hole is tightening up.
He's beat up right now.
He's beat up. It's tight. Eddie Lacy's garbage, right, JK?
Absolutely.
Right. So, and I hate Devontae Adams. James Jones. James Jones is bald.
Well, James Jones hasn't been doing much recently, especially
Hasn't been
since
doing
Adams
anything.
came back. Devontae Adams has been really Rodgers' go-to guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Cobb,
But you remember us talking early in the year, we kept going with those undefeated home teams that were underdogs, remember? And we kept winning with them. Actually, I screwed myself with Green Bay. I went Green Bay at Carolina, and Carolina went out and won that game. And really, Minnesota, no, they're not an undefeated team, but they have won their last 5 games and 7 of their last 8. And really, they're one of the best teams in football right now. And with this being such a small line, how can you not go with the home team? And you look, Green Bay, here's who they played on the road. At Chicago, they won. At the 49ers, they won. And then they lost at the Broncos and at the Panthers. And I think Minnesota's right up there with the Broncos and Panthers, especially with that defense. Their offense may not be as good as Carolina, but that defense is right up there with them.
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is banged up. Like we said, the wide receivers aren't playing well. They're not running the ball great. Green Bay's defense is in disarray. Minnesota is playing good football. Teddy Bridgewater's still a little banged up, but he'll play, and he'll probably play well. But I'm still going to go Green Bay. The close line doesn't really matter to me. I just don't see the Packers losing 4 games in a row. I think they're too good of a team for that to happen. I know I was banking on that last week when I took them at -3 and still lost that. Detroit hasn't won in Green Bay in like 75 years. I seriously don't think it's happened in my lifetime. Maybe once or twice. But I just think Rodgers is a good enough player that he's going to be able to will them to a win this week, albeit a close win. I don't even think it's going to be that high of a scoring game. I think it's just going to be close all the way. It's going to be gritty, and Rodgers will get it done near the end and maybe punch in a touchdown or at least drive him down the field to get a field goal. Although Mason Crosby looked like he kicked a freaking cement block when he tried to kick the field goal for the win last week. Honestly, I bet you all 4 of us in this room could have made it further towards the field goal post than what Crosby did on that kick. But I still think Green Bay pulls it out this week.
Well, Green Bay got to pick it up both offensively and defensively to do it because over the past 3 weeks, the offense hasn't looked good at all. Now, the defense, they were above average for the first part of the season, most of the season. But over the past 3 or 4 games, that defense has really fallen apart, and they really got to pick it back up, or else they could fall out of playoff contention still.
Minnesota's 8-1 against the spread in all games this year.
There you go.
Beast.
Minnesota.
And I picked against them.
Minnesota all day.
Yes, 47, me and Easy Minnesota. Again, Johnny Parlay and Jim going Green Bay.
And fans, I did pick my picks before parlay, so don't
You're
think
dead
I'm
wrong.
just trying to piggyback on this guy. What do you mean you're dead wrong? I'm the first one to have all my picks.
You're dead wrong.
Takes all you guys 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Hold on, I gotta look it
Takes
up.
me 20 minutes because I do all the damn work here.
All the work.
Oh, you don't even make picks. You just say, all right, I like the home teams. I'm taking the road teams.
All right. Speaking of which, we're going to move on to Jim's pick here.
Best pick of the day.
He is 3-6-1 this season in picks of the week, but he is 13-15-1 all time, so he was better last season. Can you pick it up this week? I do like your pick. Cincinnati at Arizona. Arizona's -5. The over/under 48.5.
Arizona's a tough team to beat at home. Their offense is rolling. As much as I hate to say it, Carson Palmer's playing some good football. I know John Brown's banged up a little bit. Michael Floyd's banged up a little bit. The running game has slowed down a tiny bit compared to what Chris Johnson was doing, but I think this is the week they really pick it back up down there. They're going to score 30, maybe 40 points. This, to me, starting last week with Houston, is Cincinnati's demise. I'm not saying they're going to go out and tank every game. this year. They're still going to probably finish second or third in the conference. They're going to win the division. Don't get me wrong, but if Cincinnati finished 11-5 this season, it wouldn't shock me. Andy Dalton has never, ever played well going towards the end of the season. The Bengals have historically faltered late in the year. Marvin Lewis teams have always done it. So until they don't do it, there's no reason for me to believe that they won't. So I'm going Arizona in an easy win over Cincinnati, and then I think the panic really starts in Ohio. Fire crotch.
Yeah, the Cincinnati offense hasn't looked as good over the past couple weeks. In fact, they only scored 6 points versus the Texans on Monday night. And they only scored 16 against the Pittsburgh Steelers a couple weeks ago, too. Now, they did score 31, but it was against the Browns. How hard is that to do? So the offense is somewhat on a downtrend, but the defense is actually trending up right now. They've allowed 10 points in each of the last 3 games, just 30 points in 3 games. So the defense has actually picked it up recently. But Arizona, they really haven't been stopped outside of that Pittsburgh Steelers game. And I think Pittsburgh does have a little bit better of a defense than Cincinnati still. Not that that really matters here, but I think Arizona's going to keep rolling. They went out into Seattle last week and put up 39 points on that team. And I think Arizona's just going to keep rolling, especially with the emergence of Michael Floyd.
Arizona's 5-3 against the spread as a favorite.
Zona.
I like Arizona in this matchup.
Cincy is 2-0 against the spread as an underdog. Got to let everybody know that.
Well, see, here's the thing. I hate Cincinnati. I hate the Bengals. Are they falling apart? We'll see. I mean, this is going to be a tough game. There's going to be some points scored in this game, I think. But
You think? Definitely going to be points scored. Come on, man.
I think Arizona can go
30
out
to
and shut this
30.
offense down, to tell you the truth. And really, we'll have
they're
to see
not.
if the Bengals' defense is for real, because they've been shutting teams down too. They could go out, if they go out and shut Arizona down, then this team is for real. But I still think Arizona is going to be too much for that defense.
Anybody know off the top of their head, has Palmer played Cincinnati since he's been in Arizona? He's been in Arizona, 2 years before this year?
I'm pretty sure he's played against the Bengals since being traded away from.
Yeah, as
Well,
a
he's
Raider,
played
I think.
as a Raider.
But I'm
As
not
a-
sure if he's done it as a Cardinal, that's all. Well, because the Raiders
Well,
don't
listen.
count, because they're complete garbage when he was out there.
No, he didn't, because it's every 4 years you play these teams from the opposite conference. So it would have to be 4 years ago that he played for Arizona, and he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're playing this division this year. Arizona played the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and Baltimore. Now, the last time that happened was 4 years ago.
Schedule rotation player. We on it.
Okay, well, everybody looks confused besides you, man.
no, I understand.
Okay.
That's just a natural look on my face. Thanks for making me feel self-conscious.
Yeah.
But yeah, the four of us
Smile, dude.
are going Arizona. Johnny Parlay, he's going to say Cincinnati.
That's his one loss for the week.
Spread
It's all right.
solo.
On lines that big, he usually does go that way. I was actually surprised when he took Atlanta as his pick of the week, because he usually doesn't do something like that.
I was shocked because me and him both hate on Atlanta, and he laughed at me last week when Atlanta screwed me in 3 different ways. So when he sent that, I thought it was a joke.
He probably did take out just to ruffle your feathers.
Spread picks of the week: Atlanta, Detroit, Carolina, Minnesota, Arizona. Same thing for spread majority.
Easy. Any NCAA pops?
Mm-hmm. We're going to stay with the home squad again. Pittsburgh, baby.
Doing it up.
Do it.
Who they playing?
They're on a roll. Louisville.
Louisville's garbage.
We got Pittsburgh sitting at -2 right now. You like that, huh?
Please.
You like that?
Please believe it.
Where's Kirk Cousins when we need him?
Pitt really went out and impressed me last week at Duke, just handling business up against a team over the last 2 years that have been nail biters. And they just went out there and handled business after the tough loss to Notre Dame and the brutal beatdown by Carolina at home. Louisville ain't going to stop them.
Did you see Tyler Boyd is a candidate for the Blitnikoff Award? He's one of the finalists.
Tyler Boyd is a quality human being and a gentleman and a scholar.
Easy. You're 4-3 all time in college picks, and 1-1 this season.
Yeah, well, I'll throw it
Not
out
bad.
there. I liked Alabama. We were sitting here Saturday, and Jim goes, "You like anybody?" I said, "Yeah, I like Alabama. Probably going to take them later." I thought they were a night game, and I said, "Oh no, they're on at 3:30." I said, "What time is it?" It was 3:10, so I didn't get that one in. But Pittsburgh, we're keeping it home style.
I lost my survivor pick this week, Dash. You told me to take Denver,
Yeah.
and I lost.
Yeah.
I won
You
mine.
cost me
Big letdown.
$640.
Who'd you take?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. There it is. That's scary though. Good thing Big Ben came in.
Yeah. I had to put it all on the line. Won a little work poll and with the home team, take them out.
You know
And
what?
then the other dude had Denver.
The only other team I was going to mention was Green Bay too.
Yeah, and they lost.
Yeah, they would have got beat.
Bastards.
Philadelphia got beat. Baltimore got beat. Like a lot of Survivor picks probably got blasted last Sunday.
It was brutal.
And or
Cincinnati got beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rough.
I like Carolina this week though. Carolina going up against Washington. Washington can play okay at home. At least Kirk Cousins can. On the road, he has been garbage.
Who? Carolina?
Well, Kirk Cousins has been garbage on the
but
road. Carolina.
let's say I already have Carolina picked.
Okay,
Who
you
else do
already
you think I might have to squeeze in there?
Well, obviously New England. If you haven't picked New England,
Nah,
you can
I
always
already
take New
took
England.
them. I know for a fact I haven't taken Chicago yet. Who do the Bears play?
What about Dallas? Have you taken Dallas?
No, definitely haven't taken Dallas.
Tony Romo's back. Des Bryant is
I actually-
back.
I don't
Miami's
know.
garbage.
I actually
Oh.
thought of taking Dallas as my pick of the week, and it is a pick 'em. But I don't mind taking Dallas either. But how about Seattle? Did you take Seattle yet?
No, I can use Seattle still.
Well, San Francisco at Seattle.
Oh, okay.
All over that.
Seattle. Listen, Dallas is going to go 0-8. Miami's going to wipe the floor with Dallas.
Miami's been playing horrible.
Yeah, right.
Well, they haven't been horrible, but they.
Dallas has been more horrible
Because they didn't
Well,
have their
yeah.
starting quarterback,
and
man.
they're still not going to have him.
Yeah, are you
No,
kidding
Tony
me? He's
Romo's
already been
playing.
announced the starter.
Yeah, Romo is going to be
I don't,
back.
he's going to be there physically, but he ain't in the mental. So wipe the floor with him, Tannehill. And that's where we need the dolphin sound. That would have been great. Like, yeah.
Snowflake the Dolphin. Oh, I'm going with Jacksonville for my survivor pick.
Jacksonville.
Why?
Because I like
Tennessee at Jacksonville. I actually have Tennessee coming out with the victory in that game.
Well, time to throw Blake Bortles a bone, huh?
I like Allen Robertson. I like Hearns.
Maurice
maybe
Jones-Drew.
Yeah, loving me some Maurice Jones-Drew.
I like Allen Robinson. He is the man.
Anything else for the fans?
No, that's about it.
That's all I got to say about that. Fans, you got a survivor pick for us? You got a question about any games? Hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Easy, what's your Twitter account?
At Steel Digital.
Hit them up. Let them know how you like it.
That's it. You want those college pops? We're on a roll.
Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. Keep coming back to YouTube. Click and subscribe and let us know what you think about our picks.